Tonight, a terrifying new accusation is shaking the world. Young Nigerians allegedly promised jobs, education, and a better life, only to end up trapped inside Russia's brutal war machine. Some reportedly sent to dangerous drone factories, others allegedly pushed straight toward the battlefield. And now, the United Kingdom is striking back. Welcome to NPM News. I'm James Merello. Before we continue, subscribe right now, like this video, and turn on notifications, because the stories the mainstream media barely explains, we break them down right here on NPM News. This is not just another sanction story. This is about desperation, deception, and a global war that may now be pulling vulnerable Africans into one of the deadliest conflicts on Earth. According to British officials, Russian recruiters allegedly targeted people from Nigeria, Egypt, Iraq, and Ivory Coast with promises of jobs and opportunities abroad. But behind those promises, investigators claim, was something much darker. The UK says many recruits were funneled into a controversial operation connected to Russia's Alabuga START program. Authorities allege that some victims were pushed into harsh labor inside drone production facilities, helping sustain Russia's war in Ukraine. Others were reportedly deployed closer to combat zones with little or no military training. And tonight, one chilling phrase is dominating headlines: cannon fodder. That's the phrase British authorities used while describing how some foreign recruits may have been treated. Think about that for a second. Young people searching for opportunity, allegedly turned into expendable manpower in a war thousands of miles away from home. The United Kingdom has now sanctioned 35 individuals and entities connected to the network. British officials say the operation was feeding both manpower and drone technology into Russia's military campaign as the war enters yet another devastating year. And the timing is critical. Russia's drone warfare has intensified dramatically. Reports claim Moscow launched more than 200 drones per day in March 2026 alone. Cities across Ukraine continue facing relentless attacks as cheap, mass-produced drones reshape modern warfare. The UK says this network helped keep that machine running. Among those sanctioned is a man identified as Pavel Nikitin, linked to the production of low-cost VT-40 drones reportedly used in attacks across Ukraine. But the story goes even deeper. British authorities also targeted suppliers and facilitators operating outside Russia, including actors in China and Thailand accused of helping provide critical drone components and technical support. That means this is no longer just a Russia versus Ukraine story. This has become a global network tied together by war, money, technology, and vulnerable human lives. And for Nigerians watching tonight, one name is drawing serious attention: Paulina Alexandrovna Zarnik. British officials describe her as a central coordinator allegedly involved in moving foreign recruits into Russia before deployment connected to the war effort. Even more disturbing, officials claim some of those recruited have already died. That revelation is sending shockwaves through families and communities, wondering how many young Africans may have disappeared into this hidden system without the world noticing. The British Deputy High Commissioner in Abuja, Gil Lever, says these schemes specifically prey on economic hardship and desperation. According to her, many victims believed they were accepting legitimate overseas opportunities. Instead, investigators claim they walked into exploitation tied to one of the most dangerous conflicts on Earth. And this is where the story becomes painfully emotional, because for many young Nigerians, leaving home in search of opportunity is not unusual. Millions dream of studying abroad, finding jobs overseas, or helping support struggling families back home. That dream can become powerful enough to silence warning signs: a flashy recruiter, a promise of work, a visa opportunity, a chance to escape hardship. And sometimes that's all it takes. Authorities in Nigeria had already warned citizens to be cautious of suspicious overseas offers connected to the Russia-Ukraine war. But tonight's revelations suggest the scale of the alleged operation may be far larger than many imagined. The sanctions were introduced under the UK's Global Irregular Migration and Trafficking in Person Sanctions regime, designed to target human trafficking and organized migration crime worldwide. British officials say this is the first time the framework has been used against networks accused of weaponizing migration to support warfare. That alone shows how seriously London views the situation. But critics are also asking difficult questions tonight. How many people were recruited? How many are still trapped? How many families have no idea where their loved ones truly are? And perhaps the biggest question of all, could this be happening more often than anyone realizes? As wars drag on, governments become desperate for workers, soldiers, and industrial manpower. Vulnerable migrants often become easy targets because they are searching for survival. That reality is now colliding with one of the biggest geopolitical conflicts of this generation. The Kremlin has not fully responded to all the latest allegations surrounding the recruitment claims, but the UK insists the evidence was serious enough to justify immediate sanctions, and London says this pressure campaign is far from over. British officials warned that more sanctions remain on the table as they continue trying to disrupt Russia's military supply chains and what they call hybrid threats extending far beyond the battlefield. Meanwhile, for families across Nigeria and other affected nations, the fear is becoming deeply personal, because behind every headline, there may be a son, a daughter, a brother, or a friend who believed they were chasing a better future. But instead, they may have walked into the shadows of war. This story is still developing. What do you think about these shocking allegations? Do you believe enough is being done to protect vulnerable young Africans from international trafficking networks? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to NPM News, like this video, and share this report, because the world needs to hear what's really happening behind the headlines. I'm James Merello, and this is NPM News.